Welcome to Bitknits. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really easy puffy flower scrubbies. These are perfect for gifts or just to spice up the bathroom or the kitchen. You can see from the back that we're just creating a circular shape, adding some little petals at the end, and then I will show you how to put on the scrubby front. It is not as hard as it looks. The hardest part is using this scrubby yarn, at least for me. Scrubby yarn is not my favorite, but I have some, more than I'd like. I have more than I like of it. And so I'm trying to come up with patterns and projects that use it up in a fairly easy way. So this is one of those projects. And as usual, I will put all of the pattern notes down below in the description box, so you can find out what colors I used, the brands of yarn, the hook size, stuff like that. So check that out if you're interested in making one that is similar to this, but obviously you can use whatever cotton yarn you have in your stash. For this project, I am using the Lily Sugar and Cream cotton yarn, as well as a Red Heart scrubby yarn. You can see how it's got those little scrubby pieces coming out from it. So this is just a regular cotton yarn, and this is the actual scrubby yarn. If you don't like working with this scrubby yarn, I myself find it super challenging. You can always just use the regular cotton yarn. It just won't have the scrubby feel, but it will still work. I am also using a 4mm crochet hook for this project. You can certainly upsize or downsize depending on how big you want your scrubby. This is just what I am using, but feel free to play around with it and use whatever hook is most comfortable for you with this yarn. To start, we're going to use a magic ring. If you're uncomfortable with the magic ring, or you prefer to do the chain 4 and slip stitch to the first to create that ring, that works as well. You're going to chain 2, and we're going to work 8 half double crochets right into the middle of this ring. Once you have your 8 half double crochets, pull your tail to close that ring and slip stitch to the first. Now I always like to go backwards and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to make sure that I'm getting into the actual first stitch that I did. For round 2, chain 2, we're going to work a half double crochet right into that same stitch, 2 half double crochets into the next, and 2 half double crochets into every stitch all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have 16 total stitches. When you get around, you may have a false stitch, and that's why I say I always like to count the stitches around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I need to work into the top of my chain 2. So I'm just going to slip stitch to join that round. For round 3, chain 2. We're going to half double crochet into the same stitch, two half double crochets into the next stitch, one half double crochet into the next, 2 half double crochets into the next. So you want to repeat the 2, 1, 2, 1 pattern all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have 24 total stitches. So I've gone around and repeated the 2, 1, 2, 1 pattern. I ended with a one half double crochet into that stitch. You've got this little false stitch here, and I only have 23 stitches if I count this chain 2. So I'm going to go ahead, because I don't want a huge space here, I'm going to work a half double crochet into that next. That will give me my 24 stitches, and then I can slip stitch to join. And then you won't have a huge space. For round 4, we're going to chain 2, and these increase, and the main body of this project is all worked in half double crochets. Chain 2, half double crochet into the same stitch. We're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to work the pattern repeat. In the next stitch, we're going to work 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. Into the next 2 stitches, we're just working 1 half double crochet. So 1 half double crochet into the next, and 1 half double crochet into the next. Now we can repeat that. So 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, 1 half double crochet into the next. So I'm going to repeat that 2-1-1 pattern around, and at the end of this round we should have 32 total stitches. So I ended with 2 half double crochets, counted my stitches. I have 32. I'm going to slip stitch and join that round. Now we've got our circle base. We're now going to add on a little bit of a flowery petal to this base. We're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet into that same spot. Into the next stitch, we want to work a half double crochet, a double crochet into that same stitch, and a half double crochet, all into that same stitch. Into the next, a single crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to work that little mini petal, so a half double crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet, all worked into that same stitch. Next stitch, single crochet. So you're just going to work that pattern. You're going to alternate single crochet, and then into the next you're going to work the petal, which is a half double crochet, and half double crochet, all into that same stitch. Into the next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, petal, next stitch, single crochet. So each petal is separated by a single crochet. I have worked around, ending with a single crochet in that last stitch. I'm going to go ahead and find the first single crochet I did after I chained 1 and just slip stitch to join that round. And you've got your little base of your scrubby. Now I personally think that it looks adorable like this. How cute would this be as a coaster? And if you're not interested in working the center puffy parts using the wonderful scrubby yarn, you can just keep it like this. This is cotton. It will work just fine like this if you wanted to use this as a face scrubby, just cotton, or just a little washcloth or whatever. It will work just fine like this. If you do want to work the center with me, you can use the scrubby yarn, or just continue and use your regular cotton. You can change colors, you can play with different types of cotton yarn if you want a different texture than your base. It's really up to you. Have fun with it. So I'm going to fasten off my yarn here, and then I will show you how to add those little scrubby bits to the front. I'm going to work with a slip knot on my hook, and I am not a fan of this scrubby yarn, so bear with me. Here is round 5, which is the little petal round. I'm going to skip down to that round 4, so those half double crochets right there. And I'm just going to go around the post. So you're going in from the right side around the stitch and coming out on the front. So we're not working front to back, we're just working around that post. Grab your working yarn and pull that through. This gets a little bit fiddly here, and then work a single crochet. Going to chain 3, and I'm going to work right around that same post like that, and work another single crochet. We're going to skip that next stitch and work the same thing into the next. Around the post, and because this is a scrubby and we're using the scrubby yarn, it doesn't have to be exact. You just want to get around the post of those stitches. Single crochet. I do find that it helps to sort of fold your work in half like this to get around those posts. Chain 3, find that post again, and single crochet. Skip that next stitch, find the next, work around the post, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet around that post, same post. Alright, let's see what we've got. So you can see we're kind of forming little nubs or something, little petals on around our posts. And we're going to work this pattern around that entire round 4 until we get back to where we started. At that point, we're going to jump down and work around round 3 all the way around, and then jump down to round 2. And you can keep going if you want to go as far as doing this first round here. It does get really tricky working these. The more you've done, the further into that center circle you've gone. You can see on the one that I've done here, I left that open. It's really tricky to get in there, but if you find a way and you want to kind of work this scrubby yarn around even into the middle, go for it. I kind of like having the center open, gives it more of a flower center look in totality, but really it doesn't matter. Like I said, it's a scrubby, and so these things are kind of going to be moved around and scrubbed with a lot. So I'm going to continue working around the post. So remember, we always skip a stitch in between working these single crochet, chain 3 single crochets. And I'm going to keep working this all the way around my round 4. And then I will show you how to kind of jump down into the next row and so on. I have worked around. You can see how nice that looks. It looks very flowery, and you get this really nice texture. So I've got these 2 stitches left. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one and work around this post. just so there's not a big gap. But it's kind of up to you once you get around to the end how you want to start working that spiral into the center. I am going to skip down to that next row down and just do the same thing. Go around the post. I'm just going to work into this stitch. If you want to work into the next stitch, there's really no rhyme or reason, no formal pattern. You can't, nothing you do is going to be super wrong. Just wherever feels comfortable, just start working that pattern into the next row down around those posts. Skip one and into the next around that post, and so on. And I am not a fan of working with this scrubby yarn. I find it sticks, it's tough, it's difficult to see my stitches and all of that stuff. However, it looks really cool on something like this. So you can see that next row is filling in our center. You can work as many around, like if you only want to do 2 rounds just to have scrubby on, you know, 2 rows, row 4 and row 3 around those half double crochet posts, that's fine. If you want to go all the way into the center, that's fine. Just keep working in a spiral for as long as you want, as many of these rows as you want, and then you can fasten off. I'm going to keep going, so I have one that sort of matches this, and I will meet you back when I'm done. Alright, so I have worked around and around. This is as far as I'm going to go. You'll see when you get into the center more, it becomes really difficult to find those stitches, work around the post, especially with this scrubby yarn. So I usually stop right about here, leaving that center open. I can fasten off. Leaving a good amount of end here to weave in. How pretty is this? You've got a nice scrubby portion on the front, and the colors, I just love these colors. I will put the yarn that I used and the colors that I used for this one and this one in case you're interested in getting those colors. The scrubby yarn, I just happen to have these 2 colors, and I was able to match up this scrubby yarn almost perfectly with the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn that I used for that center and the sort of the base. But these are really nice. It's got kind of a nice grip. Like I said, if you're uncomfortable or you don't have the scrubby yarn or you don't like working with it, like me, you can certainly just keep using the regular cotton yarn to create this center, and it'll still give you a little bit of texture. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming crochet, knitting, and Tunisian crochet tutorials. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.